opening statement, and we'll open up for questions.
Well, it's good to be back home. Have a couple games here this weekend. We're excited about the opportunity to try to build off some things we learned this past weekend. Obviously disappointed we didn't go 2-0, but this time of the year, it's about learning and growing and becoming who we think we ultimately can be. But we're excited about this weekend coming up. Playing Tulsa, we haven't played them in a couple of years. It's always been a good game for both fan bases. And hopefully we have a good turnout. Football's got their last game Saturday, so maybe some people are trickling in. I think we're doing a $1 ticket for Black Friday, kind of our Black Friday sale. And I know we're doing a toy drive as well for kids. So if you're saving some money on buying a ticket, maybe you can buy a toy for a kid, and we'll donate that for somebody who's in need over the holidays. But we're excited about it. Look forward to it, and we're excited about the opportunity to get better.
What were some of those things you learned from the Bahamas?
In 5 games, our team has embraced coaches preparing them. We haven't finished well, so those are things that we have to get better at. But we've started off every game pretty strong. Now it's about how to sustain that, and then ultimately how to finish a little bit better. And so that's probably the biggest thing. We also know that we still have one of the best post offensive players in the country. And when Caleb Boone plays well, we have a lot of success. And so we continue to keep that in the forefront of our minds as we prepare moving forward.
Does that kind of mean you're going to go to him maybe a little bit more than?
I mean, I don't know if we've ever not gone to him,
right,
to be honest. I watch the same games as you guys. Obviously, we have a different lens we're looking at it from. But yeah, I'm very well aware of his ability. And so we'll always be pretty intentional about playing inside out. And he's obviously our best offensive weapon. But I've said it a few times now, Moose's defensive presence, I'll say this, if our team was 5-0 right now, I think he'd be getting more national conversation about the way he's been playing. And obviously the foul trouble limited him the other day. He's been on a tear, rebounding and protecting the rim. We need that to continue as well.
Caleb was talking about the turnovers being a big thing. I mean, 35 turnovers, 35 points allowed. That's been a recurring issue for the past few years, more turnovers and assists. What's the message that you're trying to send to the team, especially if you're trying to play an up-tempo brand of offense?
Yeah, the key is just we don't have to make home run plays. A lot of times we get in trouble when we are trying to force the issue as opposed to just taking what the defense has given us and making this more simple play. And sometimes when you're an up-tempo team, it kind of leads itself to more opportunities for turnovers. But as a mature team playing that way, we got to be able to do both, play fast and be more ball conscious. We did it at Oakland against a team that gave us a lot of problems defensively last year. So we're capable. It's just a matter of consistency now.
I remember KD's freshman year, you said he might not be here for this is his 4th year, but is this kind of what you expected of him?
Yeah, and I believe he has that type of ability. And KB sometimes, and I think he'll tell you this, is his own worst enemy. And that he gets this mental thing going where he doesn't really believe himself, what we believe. And he doesn't carry that confidence and that swagger on the court. But when he does, man, he's really good. So that's what I hope we can get from him more often than not during this year.
I guess shooting consistency is the million-dollar question of how you fix it, but how do you fix it?
Just consistently taking good shots. And I went back and watched it because, again, I'm watching the same thing you guys are watching, and going 5 for 34 in 2 games isn't going to probably be good enough for us to achieve the things that we want to achieve as a team and our conference as it relates. But it's not like we're taking a bunch of bad shots. We took, of the 34 shots, 22 of them were shots that we as a staff feel like we have to take. Like, guys are wide open, shooting shots that we practice every day. If we're not going to let them shoot them, we got good enough guys to make those shots. And so there's still a third of them that you got to figure out how to get a better one. And so if you eliminate the bad ones and you just take the good ones, we're shooting those at a pretty high clip. It's that we're missing all of the other 12. So the bad shots we're taking, we're not making any of them. And a lot of those are off the dribble threes. I think we're 2 for 21 shooting off the dribble threes. So that's a shot we're just not going to be comfortable with our guys taking until we show in practice that we can make them. Take those out, and we're shooting a decent percentage.
You shot really well from the foul line in the Bahamas. Is drills like what we saw there at the end there? Does that help that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, it's a reminder. They hate running. I mean, again, I said this before. You can't tell a basketball player anything worse than get on the line. And that's all they do in their sport. But I'd rather run today than, not focus on that, quick lesson and lose to have it cost us a game. Unfortunately, we remember something in Illinois. I believe that cost us the game. We made some other mistakes, but if we make our free throws, we close out the game. And so we need to make sure that that's something that's always at the forefront of our mind. And that's an easy way to score points. You got to keep the other team at the free throw line too, because that really is what helped the Ball stay in the game as much as they did 2 days ago.
Going back into the perimeter shooting, this year, Caleb Asbury's been shooting over 39% this year coming off the bench. How important is that for you to have that spark coming off to try to get the offensive flow going back?
Yeah, we talked about it. It's a big part of the reason that he's here, and John Michael, and we believe that those guys are going to have, at the end of the year, their numbers are going to reflect what we thought we were going to get, bringing them in here. The two guys in this elephant in the room, we got to get Avery and Bryce Thompson shooting the ball better, right? From three. I think they'll combine two makes on the year, and not just 5 attempts either. So their percentages have to get better, but I think a lot of it is their nature is playmaking, and so they don't necessarily embrace the catch and shoot threes like we talk about. They're taking a lot of those off the dribble threes. Now, the two that we made, one of them made each of them. But they've also missed a handful of them. So we just got to get those guys embracing that. John Michael is good enough to make the play for them. They don't have to go do something else. Just shoot a shot with confidence at that point. So I'm confident that those guys will buy in because they're very coachable kids. They'll listen to us, and they'll take the shots that we need them to take, and ultimately
Not to make excuses, but or did the players say anything about that being a difficult gym to play in or to shoot in?
No, not necessarily. It's a casino, so the elements are a little bit weird. There was a little bit of condensation concern, so they basically froze the gym out. It was literally freezing cold in there because they were worried that the floor may moisten up, and now you got real danger. I'd rather be cold than have somebody fall, and hurt. So no one said anything that it cost us anything, but that was one of the elements that you just can't necessarily see on TV.
You mentioned how playing fast is going to leave you susceptible to a few turnovers. Just having the shot blockers you have, is that going to leave you susceptible to giving up some free throws?
I don't know about that because our fouls, I'll tell you a stat that'll blow your mind. We are 358th in the country in free throw defensive percentage. I
saw it yesterday.
And I don't really like that they keep the stat because I don't know how you defend it. And I'm open to any suggestions on how we defend free throws.
I don't understand how it's a stat.
We're not good at it, So if anybody has any suggestions, I will go to Chad and say, hey, we need to come up with a position for this person. But teams shoot like 86% from the free throw line against us. And some of it's luck, but some of it is we fouled the wrong guys at the wrong time. You can't foul Emoji Gibson. He had 12 free throw attempts coming into the game and shot 13 in one game. So that's being smarter, right? Because we told him he was 12 for 12 coming in. So basically, the numbers say if you foul him, he's going to make them. And so you got to play smarter and foul guys that maybe aren't going to be as confident or comfortable up there. But I don't know if the shot blocking necessarily causes you to foul more. I'll think about that a little bit more.
Do you need the fans to get behind the goal and start waving stuff here?
Yes, we need our fans as much as possible, right? So I want as many people in that building as we can possibly have ever. But I did go look at this, all right? I wanted to know, well, who's the best free throw defensive team in the country? Mm-hmm. It's Coastal Carolina. The team shoot 40% from the free throw line against them. I've worked at Coastal. It's not Allen Fieldhouse. So there's not like people are going in there like, man, we're going to shoot in front of 13,000 people today. So, yes, we want our fans. There's some weird things with that. Some of it is just got to not foul the wrong people.
It's just a weird stat.
It's one that's, you don't want to be last in anything, and I just don't know how to fix that one.
Zoe, enjoy your screen time?
Apparently so. I got so much response from family and friends about her being on TV, and I guess her dance moves are pretty good. She didn't get that from me, but I'm proud of her because I asked her what her favorite thing and her least favorite thing about the tournament was, and she said her least favorite thing was losing. So she's been taught well.
Was her favorite thing winning?
Her favorite thing was winning. And I think part of it was her dad did not go to dinner with her on Friday, and after the game on Sunday we had a dinner together. So